So whether you love or hate the style, the deck shoe has one of the most interesting stories in all of menswear. Now, the origins of the shoes date back to the early 1930s when the inventor Paul Sperry had a problem. He bought a nice little boat, fixed it up, and when he took that schooner out to sail, all of a sudden he found that he was ice skating on the deck. Whenever it got wet, the shoes that he had could not get any grip. Now, initially, he tried to fix the problem by putting emery dust on the deck. The problem with that is it turned his deck into sandpaper, and that's okay when you're standing on shoes, but if you fall, expose any skin, all of a sudden you're taking off a layer of your skin. So after that failure, he started looking at shoe options. First up, he looked at some espadrilles. They had this ropey bottom, which actually worked pretty good whenever the deck was wet, but if the deck was dry, he was slipping all over the place. So he needed something. He figured rubber would be the answer. Now, as the legend goes, he apparently tried over 100 different types of rubber, but it wasn't until his dog, a Cocker Spaniel named Prince, he saw it move across the deck effortlessly that he realized, I need to look at this animal's paws. And when he did so, he realized that the dog had these multi-directional cracks on the paw that actually gave it traction when the surface was wet. So they ended up creating a prototype with a black rubber with a herringbone type of pattern, and then they cut it with a knife to be able to give it these deeper grooves, and it passed with flying colors. His next steps were to patent the design and then find a partner, which he did in the company Converse. Now, the next challenge was getting the word out and selling the shoes. Calling them topsiders, Sperry and his partners took a very innovative approach in the 1930s. They decided to sell mail direct. And to kickstart things, he wrote handwritten letters to all 100 members of the prestigious Cruising Club of America. Basically, if you were a member of the Cruising Club, you owned a boat and you probably had this problem of slipping all over the decks. Well, guess what? Pretty much everyone wrote back, including this guy named Vanderbilt, who happened to be one of the richest men in the world, and he bought shoes for his entire crew on his yacht. After that, sales picked up. In fact, they had trouble fulfilling orders for the next couple years. The company expanded to produce more, and in 1939 signed a contract with the U.S. Navy to supply these shoes to sailors. 2 years later, the United States Navy would enter World War II, and demand for the shoes would skyrocket again. Now, all that being said, how in the world did deck shoes become so stylish? How did they become part of a modern man's wardrobe? Now, today's video, gents, is sponsored by my friends over at Thursday Boots. For years, I've been talking about Thursday Boots because I love what these guys do when it comes to footwear that are of value. We're talking great looking styles at a fair price. And in case you didn't know, Thursday is a lot more than just boots. They've actually got a wide variety of shoe styles to include sneakers. Seriously, these sneakers right here in black, besides being incredibly comfortable, so easy to match and wear. If you're looking for a casual daily wear shoe, check out their Statesman collection. Or if you want something a little bit dressier, check out their Executive collection. If you're in the market for a pair of double monk strap shoes, check out their Saint collection. And if you want something with a bit of texture, you want something with a bit of interest, check out the Brogues here. And of course, today we're talking about boat shoes, so let's look at Thursday's hand-sewn loafers. As you can see, these classic shoes come in a variety of colors. These shoes are built with a one-piece hand-sewn construction. It's really old school, and it's only seen in the highest quality constructed shoes. They realize the majority of men are not wearing these things on boats, and they want a sole that's going to last. It's basically a true moccasin construction with a single piece of leather that gives an overall higher quality build. It also makes them incredibly comfortable and durable. If you've been dreaming of a boat shoe design that actually has soles made for a guy that's walking through the city or just simply needs traction, guys, you're going to love this design and the sole here, which is made to be durable and to be able to give you grip when you need it. On top of that, free shipping, free returns, and of course, gents, when you use that link in the description of today's video, you get the best deal on the web. So before we talk about why deck shoes are so stylish, let's talk about what exactly we mean by the word deck shoe, boat shoe, topsider. Yeah, they go by a variety of names and have been sold for almost 100 years, so we've probably seen well over 100 manufacturers put out variations of these shoes, but there are a few common characteristics we see in general. First up, the top design. In general, we see a low-cut moccasin-like design. Basically, the top of the shoe features a lace threaded around the back of the shoe and through the sides in a 360-degree lacing system. Now, for most people, it's going to be this feature that gives the boat shoe its distinctive look. And by the way, that old school lacing system that goes around the back, it was designed to be able to tighten the full shoe around the ankle so it didn't come off if you were thrown off, or, basically it kept the shoe in place. And by the way, gents, if you're enjoying this video, you want to feed the algorithm, do me a favor and smash that like button. By doing that, you let the YouTube gods know, hey, this video is worth watching. Next up, we've got the material the boat shoe is made from. Traditionally, we're going to see leather, and that will be the majority of boat shoes out there, but you're also going to see suede, which really are probably not made to get wet, more for design and overall look. And you will see some canvas boat shoes out there, which is probably a decent material to choose if you're going to be getting these wet. But I think for the majority of men, they're not really wearing them as deck shoes. They're wearing them as simply as a shoe they wear day to day. And we'll get into why they started doing this. Now, I know some of you guys that know materials are saying, well, leather, isn't that going to get damaged with the exposure to salt water again and again? The answer would be yes, unless the leather was treated. So boat shoes were used a traditional treating of the leather that basically had a lot of oils put right into it that basically repelled the water. Now, boat shoes could come in a variety of colors, but traditionally they would be in a tan or a brown. You would occasionally see them in blue. But I mean, it was something pretty quickly people started customizing them to the design and look that they wanted. Next up, let's talk about the insoles. And interestingly enough, boat shoes are one of the few shoes designed to actually be worn without socks. So the insoles would oftentimes have extra cushioning so that they would just simply be more comfortable. Which brings up a very interesting question. Do you actually wear your boat shoes with or without socks? I know if I'm going to wear them, I am still wearing them with no-show socks because I don't want my shoes to smell. But guys, I want to hear from you guys down below in the comments. And finally, let's talk about the sole. So the original sole, yes, is a non-slip, non-marking rubber sole designed to provide grip on the wet surface of a boat without leaving marks. That being said, nowadays you're going to find boat shoes with a variety of different types of soles, from those leveraging a leather sole with maybe a rubber heel, or those leveraging a high traction sole that's going to be able to give grip in a variety of different surfaces. Because as I mentioned earlier, the vast majority of men wearing boat shoes are not wearing them on boats. They're wearing them in day-to-day wear situations, which leads us to the question, how in the world did boat shoes become so stylish? How did they make the leap from obscurity to almost being in every man's closet? The answer? The rise of Preppy style, specifically the East Coast Ivy League style in the 1950s and 60s. Which is really interesting because if you think about it, I would have thought the introduction to the US Navy to the common man being able to wear these shoes would have brought it into a classic man's wardrobe. But it was actually, it disappeared after World War II for about a decade or two. But again, it was useful to those that owned boats. Men that went sailing, especially on the East Coast, they would have these shoes that they could wear whenever they were out on their boats, they were out on a friend's boat. So a lot of these well-off young men started wearing these shoes in other places. To be specific, on college campuses. So almost accidentally, the boat shoe became part of the preppy man's wardrobe. It was a simple shoe that he was already enjoying and wearing in his leisure, and he started bringing it to the college campus. He started wearing it around town. All of a sudden, he realized this shoe actually had some great functionality to it. And that functionality is it was a step above sneakers, but it was still a step below dress shoes. It filled a void in a man's wardrobe whenever he just simply wanted to wear maybe a polo with chinos. He wanted something he could wear with shorts that, again, was going to be a bit dressier than sneakers, but would set him apart from the crowd. And with the trend starting in the 1970s of men starting to dress down, we had all types of new styles hitting menswear. The boat shoe was seen as a staple, as a way that an East Coast preppy looking gentleman who is of means could dress and set himself apart, still be a bit more casual, not be overdressed, but have something that was his, something that signified where he came from. And then in 1980, there was a book that came out, the official Preppy Handbook. And on the cover was a pair of boat shoes. Now, the book itself was a tongue-in-cheek write-up by Lisa Birnbach, and she was talking about the WASP wardrobe, how to be able to identify these Ivy Leaguers. But because of that, it was embraced, and all of a sudden, it was seen as one of the official pieces of, if you wanted to look like you came of means, you wanted to look Ivy League, this was a piece of footwear that you needed to own. Roaring through the 1980s, sales continued to shoot up as yuppies took over, and all of a sudden, consumerism was in. Now, since that time period, the shoe has come in and out of fashion. Sales have gone up, sales have gone down, but one thing has been consistent. If you are on a boat, you want a pair of shoes, they're going to be able to give you traction. You're going to look for a pair of boat shoes, of topsiders. So that's what I love about this classic piece of menswear, is that it does have a functional purpose. That being said, for most men who are going to want to wear this out day to day, you want to just simply find a pair that looks good, you like the build, you like the quality. It has a sole that is actually going to be able to deal with walking around the city or maybe just cruising around town in your car. But I know for me personally, where this shoe fits and why it's a classic in menswear is that gap between sneakers and dress shoes, that area that you want to dress a bit more casual. You want something that's going to look great with your shorts, look good with your chinos, something you can casually give a nautical feel to your overall look without having to throw on a blazer. Gentlemen, the boat shoe is where it's at. All right, gentlemen, so what video to watch next? How about why are aviator sunglasses so stylish? So many guys wear these and they don't know the history. They don't know the details of why aviator sunglasses are, in my opinion, one of the first sunglasses any man should buy. And I think it helps to know the history, why you should invest good money if you're going to buy a pair. Guys, check this video out right here. I enjoyed making it, and I think you will love it. The history of why aviators are so stylish. Boom, right there.